In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create an Amazon affiliate website using WordPress and Woocommerce. The site we're going to be making looks just like this. As you can see, I am promoting beer-related clothing and products, but you can promote whichever products you like in whichever niche you like. The site is really easy to set up and customize. You can add your own logo, you can change the color scheme, all sorts of things and make it your own. Now don't worry if you've never made a website before, I'm going to be taking you through everything step by step, from setting up the hosting to installing WordPress, configuring it all up, adding products, adding content, basically everything you need to know. Now this video is quite long, but hopefully you'll be able to get through it, and by the end of it, you too will have your very own Amazon affiliate website. So let's get started. Hello, it's Alex here from WP Eagle. Thanks for watching. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create an Amazon affiliate website using WordPress. So let me just explain what being an Amazon affiliate is all about. I'll use a little diagram. You sign up as an affiliate with Amazon, and you do that by scrolling down to the bottom of the website, Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk. Look for the word Amazon Associates. I don't know why they use the word associates because it's the same thing. It's basically an affiliate. Yeah, so you sign up and then you can then send traffic over to Amazon using some unique tracking links so that Amazon know that traffic's come from you. So yeah, you send traffic over to Amazon. When that traffic then makes a purchase, and they can buy whatever they want on Amazon, it doesn't necessarily have to be the thing that you were talking about, you then get some commission. And that commission kind of varies depending on the stuff you're promoting. But yeah, that's how it works. And obviously it's a nice way of earning some extra income. Now today we're going to be using WordPress, and the sort of site we're going to be making is a bit like a mini e-commerce sort of site. You're able to add products to the site, and then when people come and visit your site, they can then add those products to a basket, and then when they click checkout, they're redirected off to Amazon to make their purchase, and that's when you earn your commission. Now I've got loads of videos on being an Amazon affiliate over on the channel, so be sure to check them out in terms of how to work out which niche you want to promote, how to get traffic to your site. All that kind of thing is in other videos. I'm not going to be going into all that stuff in this video in too much detail. All we're going to be doing today is making the website. However, I will say that Amazon do offer different levels of commission depending on the category of product that you're going to be promoting. So that's probably going to influence the market that you are going to want to create a website about. I'll put a link in the description below to the page on Amazon where you can check out the different levels of commissions for different categories. So let's talk about what you're going to need today. I've created this video with a low budget in mind. I want to try and keep the costs to you to a minimum, but unfortunately, like all good business ventures, there is a small cost involved to get this website up and running. Let me just explain what that is right now. So the first thing you're going to need is a domain name. Now a domain name is like a .com or a .co.uk or a .net, something .whatever. And the cost for that is going to be around $12, something like that. If you go over to GoDaddy, that's how much they're selling .coms for the year. So not a huge amount for that. The second thing you're going to need is hosting. Hosting is basically hiring a small bit of a server off a company, and they look after your website, make sure that it's available on the internet. The cost for that depends on the kind of term that you're going to go for with your hosting. So if you just want to go for a month, which to be fair is probably not going to be long enough to get the site up and running and get it working, but if you do just want to go for a month, I've got a voucher code with Hostgator, who are my chosen hosting provider because they're really good and they're really good value for money. If you use the code that I'm going to provide in this video, you can get your first month for just a penny. However, I think you're probably going to need your website for at least 6 months. So the price for 6 months of hosting, again, using the voucher code that I provide, is going to come in at $49 for 6 months. The final thing you're going to need is the plugin. The plugin is called Woozone, and that does all of the Amazon stuff for us. It's a premium plugin, so I'm afraid you are going to have to pay for it. However, for the money, you do get the plugin and you get support and you get updates. And the cost for the plugin is just $47. And that's all we're going to need to spend today to get the website up and running. WordPress and WooCommerce and all the other things that we're going to be using, they're all free. You're probably thinking, well, how much money can I make with an Amazon affiliate website? And well, really it depends. I've heard from a number of viewers that have made quite a bit of money. The majority of my viewers, they make a reasonable amount of money, from each site, and many of them have multiple sites. Let me just show you an example of a site created by one of my viewers after watching one of my previous tutorials. It's this site here. It's all about growing a beard and looking after your beard, as you can see. And the great thing about this site is not only has it got lots of great beard related products, it's also got some great content. So you'll see there's guides on how to look after your beard and basically anything to do with keeping and growing a beard. So that way it attracts people from across the internet to come and read the articles. And the articles are, of course, linked to products. They recommend products, etc. So that when someone goes off to Amazon and makes that purchase, the site owner gets their commission. The great thing about this site is that it does offer value and it has got lots of great content. And I've spoken to the creator of this site, and they're earning, a reasonable amount of money off this site, and it's inspired them to go on and create a second site, not beard related, in a completely different niche, but using the same kind of formula of adding products and creating great content. Okay, so hopefully you're about ready to start creating your Amazon affiliate website. If you haven't thought of the kind of products you want to promote or the market you want to go into, if you look in the description, I will link off to some other guys' videos, not necessarily my videos, but other videos on YouTube where you can learn about how to choose a niche and how to choose the products that you're going to promote on Amazon. If you do know what you want to promote and you're ready, I think it's time to get started. So I'm going to get on the computer. It is quite a long video because there's quite a lot to go through. You'll find timings in the description below, so you can quickly click to certain areas on the video, skip ahead, that sort of thing. But make sure you've got a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a bit of time, and I wish you the best of luck. If you get stuck at any point or you've got any questions or comments, then please leave them below, or do check out wpeagle.com. Over there you'll find a forum where lots of my viewers talk to each other, and I also get involved in terms of helping people out and answering questions. But that's enough of my face for now. Let's get on the computer and get started setting this website up. So the first thing we need to do is set up our web hosting. Your web hosting is where your website is going to live. You basically just hire a little bit of a server, and the company that you hire it with keeps your website up and running and makes it available to everyone on the internet. Now, my preferred host is Hostgator. There's a number of reasons that I recommend Hostgator. The first is that they're extremely good value for money, with prices starting at just $3.95 per month in dollars. They're one of the cheapest hosts out there, but they don't really compromise too much on performance. You still get a good website that runs nice and fast and is able to run all of the plugins and things that we're going to be using on our WordPress website. Other great things about Hostgator include a 45-day money-back guarantee. So if for whatever reason you're not happy, you can just cancel and get your money back. No questions asked. They offer a 99.9% uptime guarantee, which means that your website should be available pretty much all of the time. It won't go down. You get 24/7 365 technical support. I use the online web chat feature that they offer. Find it works really well. You just send a message and you get your help pretty much straight away. And the final reason is it's really easy to install WordPress with Hostgator. They've just got a simple one-click install and you're all done. And we'll be doing that after we've got our hosting set up. So let's do that now. Let's get it set up. I'm going to go into web hosting. You'll notice there is a WordPress hosting. You don't need this. You just need the standard web hosting. You can install WordPress on that and it works fine. There's no need to pay extra for the WordPress hosting. And within the general hosting, there is 3 different plans. And it really depends on how many websites you're thinking of setting up. If you're just going to be doing the one for now, then the hatchling plan is probably going to be fine. But if you're thinking of adding more sites in the future, then you might want to go for the baby plan or the business plan. But it's very easy to switch between plans once you're in anyway, so don't worry too much right now. If you're unsure, then just go for the hatchling plan, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to click sign up now. Now we're on the order form. The first question is about your domain name. So if you're looking to register a new domain name, you can do that with Hostgator, and you just simply type it into this box here, and Hostgator will go off and do a search and check whether it's available or not, and if it is, you can just simply register it. Of course, you can register a domain name with another provider like GoDaddy if you like. It's entirely up to you, and I'll show you how to use a domain that's registered elsewhere later on in this tutorial. There's a tab here that we can click if we are going to be using a domain that we already own. which is what I'm going to be doing today. So if you've got your domain registered with someone else, this is the option you need. I'm going to type my domain in, and the domain I'm using today is beershirts.co.uk. I'm just going to press tab to move to the next field. It's going to do a quick search, and it's added it. Then it's also showing me if I want to register any other variations of the domain, which I'm not going to do now. I'm happy just to keep the one. So let's scroll down. The next we can choose our hosting plan. It's obviously already selected Hatchling, which is what I clicked on a few moments ago. If you want to change it now, you can just use this drop down. The next is the billing cycle. You've got a number of options regarding that. Now, it is better value if you go for a longer term. So 12 months, the price drops quite considerably. If you go to 36 months, it's even cheaper. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your billing cycle. At the end of the day, you're going to need your website for at least 3 months, really, to get it going and add content and get it ranking on Google and all that sort of stuff. 1 month's not really going to be long enough for that. Although, to be fair, some people have had a site get traffic within that time. But I think probably 3 months is the minimum. But if you can afford it and you want to save a bit of money, then go for 12 months or 24 months or 36 months. I'll leave it on 36 months for now. Oh, by the way, I'm going to give you a voucher code very shortly as we scroll down the page. And that voucher code gives you a 30% discount on top of the discounts that you're already going to get. And if you do go for the 1 month, it gives you the first month for just a penny. So depends on what you're doing. If you go for the 1 month, it will be a penny for the first month, and then the usual price after that. If you go for any of the other packages, it will be a 30% discount. Now, I really want to stress that the discounts you get for the longer periods are quite big. So if you do go for the penny 1 month thing, that's fine. But overall, you are going to end up paying more. If you can stretch to 36 months, that's 3 years. It costs about the same. So 3 years comes in around $100 with my discount voucher. Whereas, you know, the 1 month, the 3 month and the 6 months, they're going to come in around that. If you're on there for a year, they're going to come in probably a little bit more than $100. So if you go for that one, you're basically getting 2 years of hosting for free, if you want to look at it like that. So all I want to do is just stress that if you've got some money now, then go for a longer period because you're going to save a ton of money, especially when you use my discount voucher. Next field is username. So enter the username you want to use, and that's going to be the username that you use to log into Hostgator to set things up and all that sort of stuff. In this one, enter a security pin. You're going to need that whenever you phone up Hostgator if you need any support. I'm not going to fill all these in right now because that'd be a bit boring. I'm just going to talk you through it. The next one is the billing info. So in here, enter your email and name and address and all that other stuff, and make sure that you select your payment type, whether you want to use your credit card or your PayPal account. Scroll down to section 4, and we've got some additional services here. You're not going to need any of these, so just untick anything that might be ticked. We can secure our site using plugins, and I can recommend some software for email and backups and all that sort of stuff. So you don't need to pay Hostgator for any of those things. Next is the coupon code. I say this is important. I've got a coupon code. If you enter the code EAGLE30, you'll get your discount. There we go. See, it's a bigger discount than we already had. Now, the code is an affiliate code, so I will earn a commission if you use it. I'd like to say thank you very much if you do use it. I really appreciate it. It, helps me to kind of pay for making these videos and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really appreciate it if you use it. Of course, if you don't want to, you don't have to. So let's just review our order details. Now, Hostgator, for some reason on this order form, they do sneakily try and add the add-ons back on. So, I just untick this, it's ticked it again. So you just untick that. It's very sneaky. Make sure you double check that everything is unticked. And there we go. So that's our 36-month package. Let me just show you what happens actually if we do go for the 1 month, just to prove that the code works. As I said, if you go for 1 month, and then make sure it doesn't take any additional services, naughty order form. You can see you get your first month there for just a penny. So, you know, if funds are tight, then maybe that's the option for you. It's a bargain there for the first month. But I say if you can afford it, it's better value if you can go for the longer term. Okay, so that's it. Finally, you just need to tick the terms and conditions box, and then you're ready to check out. So what I'll do is I'll fill in this form now, and I'll get my hosting package all set up, and then we'll carry on setting up our website. Okay, so I completed my order form and did my payment and all that sort of stuff, and it's now going to set up my account. This is going to take a few moments. After it's all set up, we'll receive an email with all our details that we need to log into our hosting account and set up our website. If you seem to be sitting on this page for a while like I am, you can click here to be automatically redirected. Let's see what happens. There we go, we're in. So I'm just going to go and check my email now and see if I received my details. It's automatically logged me in, but if for whatever reason you haven't been logged in, you're going to need that email. So let me just pop into my email inbox now. Okay, so here's the email, it's arrived. And here I've got all my details that I'll need. You need to keep this email safe, and you might want to change your password because it generates your password, one that's quite hard to remember. But you can do all that within the Hostgator control panel. So to access your control panel, you'd click on this link here. I'm already logged in because it does that after you've signed up. And here's your password and all that sort of stuff. Now, the next thing that we need to do, and this applies to people that have already got a domain name, maybe registered elsewhere with companies like GoDaddy or Namecheap or Namester, somewhere like that, is we need to update our name servers. Now, if you've just registered a domain with Hostgator, you don't need to worry about this. You'll be good to go as soon as your domain's registered. Now, I will just say that it can take a little while for domains, especially new registrations, for it to all kind of go through and propagate around the world and actually start working. So give it a couple of hours. If nothing's showing on your domain name, and something will appear once you've given it a bit of time. So to repoint our name servers, I'm going to log into my domain registrar, which is GoDaddy. So let me just pop over there now. Then I'm already logged in. Now what I'm doing, don't worry if you're not with GoDaddy, the principle is pretty much the same. We just want to update our name servers, and it's pretty much the same as say on most domain registrars. So let's go to manage my domains. You'll find a similar thing with whoever you're registered with. You then need to find the domain, which is this one. Then I'm going to scroll down. I've got Manage DNS. I'm going to give that a click. That's all my records. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to scroll down to where it says Name Servers, and I'm going to click Change. I'm going to go for Custom. Then it's giving me two boxes to enter my name servers. So going back to that email, here we go. That's my first name server. I'm just going to copy that into my clipboard, paste that into the first box, go back to the email, get the second one, paste that into the second box, then click Save. So that's all done. That's going to take a few moments to take effect, but hopefully when it's all done and working, when I visit beershirts.co.uk, or you visit whichever domain name you're using, you will see a Hostgator page, which means that everything's working. But in the meantime, while that's doing whatever it needs to do in order to work, let's go back into Hostgator and install WordPress. So I can close these tabs, close that, close my email, and I'm back in Hostgator. So what I'm going to do is click on Hosting. Now I've got a number of different hosting accounts with Hostgator, funnily enough. So if you have two, make sure that you select the right domain. I'll do that right now. So I'm on my beershirts.co.uk. Then if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that there's this button here that says WordPress one-click installation, and that's what we need. So let's give that a click. And here we go. We're ready to install WordPress. So just need to fill in a few settings. First off, we need to select the domain. which is beer shirts. Leave the directory box blank, then click next. Here we can give our blog or website a name. We call it beer shirts. Here you type in an admin username, and this is the username that you're going to be using to log into WordPress. So logging into WordPress is different than logging into your Hostgator control panel. So put something in there that you'll remember. You can type in your name here if you like. And then you need to type in an admin email address. That will be used by the website to send you information about whatever's going on your website. So make sure you enter a valid email address in there. You want to leave that ticked where it says automatically create a new database for this installation. And then you need to just tick the terms of service agreement. And then the button lights up and we're ready to go. So let's give it a click. It's going to take a few seconds. So that's already done. Now there's some very important information right here. There's the username that I just entered, but it's generated a password and I'm going to need that. So I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard. I'm going to change it once I've logged into something I can remember, which I'll show you how to do. But make sure you make a note of this password for now because you're going to need it. So if I click login, hopefully the login screen will come up. However, it depends on whether that DNS change has taken effect, or if you've just registered a new domain name with Hostgator, whether that registration and all that's gone through. So let's give it a click and see what happens. Bingo. We've got our WordPress login screen. Now, if you don't see this, don't panic. Providing you've just done everything correctly, you'll be fine. You just need to give it a bit of time. So go and make yourself a cup of coffee or tea and whatever, and come back in half an hour, and try again. And hopefully you'll see the screen. So let me enter the username, which is the one I just set. I'm going to paste in the password, which I just copied. And I'm going to click login. The browser is asking me if I want to save the password. I can do, but I'm going to change it anyway. Okay, so we've got a few little boxes at the top which are making the place look untidy, so let's just close them. The next one says that the site is currently displaying a coming soon page. That will go once we remove the plugins that we don't need, so don't worry too much about that. And then I'm just going to close this as well. I'm going to clean up the install in a second, removing plugins and things that we don't need, which I'll take you through. But anyway, the first job is to reset my password to something that I can remember. So I've gone into users there and all users, and there I am. I'm going to click edit. If I scroll down, I've got a new password option. You can click generate password. And again, it's generated something that I'm never going to remember. Of course, if you use a password manager, it's fine. But for now, I'm just going to change it to something that I can remember. I'm just going to click hide, just so that you guys can't see it. Then type in my new password. It thinks it's weak, so I need to tick that box and then click update profile. And there we go, my password's changed. So as I said, before we get started, I want to just clean up the install, make it nice and fresh, because Hostgator tend to install some plugins and stuff that we don't really need, so let's just take them out. The thing with WordPress is the more plugins that you install, it can have a performance impact on your site, so it's best to only install ones that you need. So I'm going to deactivate Jetpack. I'm going to deactivate Google Analytics for now. You'll find some other videos on my channel about Google Analytics and how to add it. I'm going to deactivate Mojo Marketplace as well. We don't need it. So now I'm just going to tick all of those plugins. Don't need Hello Dolly either. Then on this little drop down, I'm going to select delete and then apply. And then OK. That's it, they're all gone. Let's just go back to our dashboard. Nice looking. A lot cleaner now, not so many pop-up boxes. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install Woocommerce, which is a free e-commerce plugin, which we're going to use to power the shopping cart and the products and that sort of thing. And then we're going to install Woozone on top of that, which does all the Amazon stuff. So let's do that now. So I'm going to go to plugins and add new. I do a search, I'm going to type in Woocommerce. It's the first one that comes up. I'm going to click install now. That's installed. I'm going to click activate. Then we've got a little setup wizard that we need to just go through. So let's click let's go. First thing it's going to do is install a few essential pages, which we need. So our shop page, cart page, checkout page, and the My Account page, although we don't really need that, to be fair, with an affiliate site, but never mind. Let's click continue. Here you need to set your local settings. I'm in the UK, I'll leave that as it is. Set your currency and your weights, that's all fine. Now, if you're not going to be shipping products, which I doubt you are, as you're going to be using it as an affiliate site, you can untick all these boxes and click continue. And again, with payments, we don't need that because Amazon's going to be doing all that stuff, so let's click continue. And then that's WooCommerce all done. Let's just return to the WordPress dashboard. Okay, so now we need to install Woozone, which is our Amazon affiliate plugin. It's going to get all our products down and manage all the affiliate tracking and all that sort of stuff. So it's over on Code Canyon. Let me just bring up the page. I'm going to do a search for Woozone. And it's this one here. It's called WooCommerce Amazon Affiliates WordPress plugin. I'm going to put a link up on the screen now. If you use that link, thank you very much. It's an affiliate link. It will take you straight to this page where you can make your purchase. You're going to need to sign up for the Invato market and deposit some funds and all that sort of stuff. So the cost for the plugin is $42. For that, you get 6 months support and you get updates and all that sort of stuff. It's a great price. So I'm just going to purchase a license and then I'll be ready to go. Okay, so I made my purchase. I'm ready to go. There's a download button here, so I can just give that a click. And we're going to be downloading a zip file. Let me just save it to my computer. So I'm going to click save to save that. There we go. Then I'm going to take a look at that zip file on my computer. There it is. And then I'm going to extract the zip file. Within there's a folder called 9.0.4.6. That's the version number. It may change, don't worry about that. And then within that folder, there's another folder called plugin. And then we have woozone.zip, which is the file that we're going to be uploading to our website. So let's do that now. Go back to my dashboard. I'm actually going to close this Hostgator tab. We don't need that anymore. So within WordPress, I'm going to go to plugins and add new. And then upload plugin and choose file. And I'm in the correct folder. There's the extracted folder, the one with the version number. I'm going to go within there, into plugin and select woozone.zip. Make sure you do select woozone.zip and not the zip that you downloaded, which will start with the word Code Canyon. That won't work. You need to extract it first and then find the zip inside. Let's click install now. That's done. Let's click activate. Okay, there's a few things that have popped up. It says it recommends using these themes. We're not going to be using them today. We're using a free theme. So dismiss this notice. You'll find other videos on my channel where I do make sites using the Kingdom theme if you're interested. The next message is regarding our memory limit. And I'll be showing you how to increase that in a second. And this final message is around the default setup. So let's do that now. Let's click install default setup. Just going to clean everything, make sure that it's all default. So let's just refresh the page. And there we go. So it's asking for the item purchase code. If we go back to Code Canyon, and then if I go back to the Woozone page, I can just do a search. Woozone, there it is. I think it's called Woozone actually. I don't know why I'm calling it Woozone. It always used to be called Woozone, that's why. Maybe it is Woozone. Yeah, and on this page, under the support tab, if you scroll down, you'll find all your purchase codes there. I've got a few. I'm just obviously going to choose the one that I bought today, copy that into my clipboard, back to the website and paste it in and click Activate Now. And there we go, we're all done, ready to go. Okay, so next thing we need to do is up our memory limit. I'm going to show you how to do that now so we can get rid of this message. It's just that WooCommerce and Woozone need a little bit more server memory. Now, I know I just closed that Hostgator tab, but actually we do need to go back into our Hostgator control panel. Never mind. So I'm just going to quickly pop open my email and get the link and all that stuff. So let's do that now. Okay, so here we are back in my email. And let me just click on there to get into the control panel. Enter the password, which I've got here. While we're in there as well, I'll show you how to change that password. Okay, I'm just going to close this survey. Okay, to change the password, I'll just quickly get rid of all these messages. Just go up here, double click on your username, click password and security. Enter the old password, which I've got in my clipboard, and then enter your new one. And click change your password now. Oh, it helps if you put passwords in that match. Like that. There we go. Okay, so I just need to log in again with the new password. There we go. I'll get my browser to save that one. So let's up that memory limit. That's why we came here. Let's go to Files, File Manager. Now don't worry, I know it looks a bit techie. We're just looking at the files that are on the server. We just need to edit one very slightly. So I'm going to double click on public HTML. I'm going to click on the little icon. Don't click on the name, otherwise it tries to rename it, as you just saw. And the file we want is WP config. It's that one there. I'm just going to highlight that, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click Code Editor. It gives us some stuff. Don't worry about that. Just click Edit. We just need to add a line to this file. You'll find all of the bits of code and everything that I use within this tutorial in the description of this video on YouTube or over at wpeagle.com on the blog post around this video, and you can just simply copy and paste from my website into your WP config. So I've already got the line that we need in my clipboard. I just sneakily copied it. So I'm just going to paste that in. I'm going to paste it just here. So let's paste. There we go. That's what it is. It's define and some brackets and a speech mark thing. WP underscore memory underscore limit. Then another speech mark. Then a comma. Then a space. Then another speech mark. Then 128M. And then another speech mark. Then a bracket. Then a semicolon. If you want to type it in. But as I say, you could just copy it from the description. If YouTube let me put it in there. If they didn't, then you'll definitely find it over at wpeagle.com. So that's done. Let's click Save Changes. Now, if that's all worked, and we go back to our website, which is over here, and if I refresh this page using my browser refresh button, this message should go. Let's see. Ta-da! All done. So now we've got our memory increased, and we're ready to carry on setting up our website. So let's close some of these tabs. I'm going to try and keep it tidy in this video. First thing we need to do is our Amazon config. So let's click on Amazon config. So the first option is the request type. You can leave that at auto detect. The next one is the Amazon locations. Now worldwide is all possible locations. Well, that's what it says anyway, but it actually means Amazon.com basically. So if you're in the US or whatever, you're going to be promoting Amazon.com, leave it on worldwide. If you're going for a more country specific one, then select it here. I'm going for UK because the website is beershirts.co.uk, so I'm just going to pull products down from Amazon in the UK and get some traffic to my website from the UK, so it all falls in line. And when it comes to setting up different country sites, I get this question quite a lot. You know, I want to promote lots of different countries. What should I do? It's entirely up to you. You're going to want to leave it on worldwide if you're going to be promoting from lots of different countries. And Woozone actually gives customers the option to select which Amazon they check out from, so it's not a big problem. From a traffic point of view, sometimes it's easier to get local traffic if you've got individual sites. So, you know, beershirts.co.uk could be my UK site, and then I can have beershirts.de, it has my Germany site, and have different content and different products specific for those markets. That's another way of doing it. But I'm going to leave that on UK and scroll down. So the next thing is we need to enter our access keys. These are required for us to pull down products from Amazon. So before we go much further, you are going to need to sign up as an Amazon affiliate. I'll just show you how you do that. Go over to Amazon and go over to the Amazon for the country that you're going to be promoting. So if it's Amazon.com, go to Amazon.com. If it's UK, then go to Amazon.co.uk. So I'm over at Amazon.co.uk. I'm already signed up as an Amazon affiliate. If you're not, scroll down to the bottom of the Amazon site and you'll find Associates Program here. Give that a click and fill in the form and you'll be all signed up. Now they are going to ask you about your website, and obviously we haven't created one yet. Just enter your domain name. It doesn't matter if it's work in progress because Amazon aren't going to come over and check you out until you start sending them some traffic. So you should be fine to just enter the domain that you're going to be using, and that will be okay. And then when you start get up and running, start sending them traffic, then they'll come and see whether you are going to be approved, which hopefully you will be. So once you've signed up as an associate, go back to your Woozone, and then we're going to get our keys. And to do that, we need to click on this one here, which is the AWS account management. Then you need to sign in with your Amazon account. Then I'm going to click continue to security credentials. And then here we go. Now, you may get asked for a credit card when you sign up for Amazon AWS, and it's going to mention charges. But generally, using the Amazon advertising API is free. So providing that you earn a little bit of commission, there shouldn't be a charge. Now, I've never been charged for Amazon AWS, and I've not heard of anyone that has. So you should be fine. Don't worry about it. It's just taking a credit card for security and that sort of thing, but you won't be charged. Anyway, what we need for our website is the access keys, which are right here. So if I click on this little plus, now I've already got some set up. You can only have 2 at any one time. So I'm just going to delete this one like that. And then I'm going to click create new access key. Obviously, if you've not used it before, you're just going to be creating a new one. So let's do that now. There we go. It's done. Click here to show the access key. And there it is. And that's what we need to copy and paste in to our Woozone settings. So let's copy that first bit, the access key ID. Put that in there. The next we need the secret access key, which is there. That's done. Next is our affiliate IDs. You need to enter one for each of the stores you're going to be promoting. As I say, you need to sign up for each of the individual sites. So you're going to get an ID from Amazon.com. You need to sign up there. To get your ID from Amazon.co.uk, you need to sign up there. So I just need to enter the UK one because that's the only products that I'm going to be promoting. So I'm going to go back to Amazon. click on Associates Program, click Login, and then click Sign In. There we go. Click Get Started. So I've got my ID up here. And you can create new ones for each site that you're going to run. It kind of makes it easier in terms of knowing which sites are generating you your income. So I'm going to create a new one. And to do that, I'm going to click up here on my email address and go to Manage Your Tracking IDs. I'm going to click Add Tracking ID. I'm going to call it Beer Shirts. And then Create. It says it's created successfully. Now I can just copy that into my clipboard. Close that. Go back to Woozone. I'm going to paste that in just like that. And we're all good. So let's just go down. Select the main affiliate ID. It's going to be UK. And if I click Check, we should see if it's all working. Get a message. Yeah, I was able to connect to Amazon. Perfect. Let's click Save Settings. Now, if you get an error message at this point, it could be because you need to enable the advertising API. So let me show you how to do that. Let's go back to Amazon. Under Tools, you've got this Product Advertising API. Give that a click. And there's this button over here that says Sign Up Now. Click that. And then log in. I'm already signed up, so I don't need to do it. But yeah, log in. I think there's a couple of forms you've got to fill in, very simple forms. Go through them, and then once that's all done, you should be able to connect all fine from your Woozone site. So let's go back. Okay, so we're now ready to start importing our products from Amazon. Now I'm going to import a few products to start with before we even start laying out the site or anything like that. I'm aware that you haven't seen what the website looks like just yet. We can have a go. Let's go and have a quick look. I'll show you. If you go to the front of the site, it's like this. Just the very basic WordPress theme. Nothing to look at really. So I say what I want to do is download the products from Amazon, at least a few of them. Then what we'll do is we'll get the theme, which is what's going to give our website the look and feel that we want. And then we'll start laying stuff out. We'll put the products on, make sure they're all looking nice, and add a logo and all that sort of stuff. And it will really start to come together very soon. So, but as I said, I think now is a good time to download a few products. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go into Dashboard. Now you've got two options when it comes to downloading products from Amazon. You can use the Amazon categories, which is fine, although Amazon do have a lot of product categories, so it can be a bit of a mess. Or you can use your own product categories, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Now for beer shirts and t-shirts, there's only really a couple of categories that I need. So let me create them now. And to do that, I'm going to go to Products and Categories. First one is going to be beer t-shirts. And click Add New Category. And the next one is going to be beer shirts. Now the categories you add are obviously going to depend on the products you're promoting. It may be that you're going to be selling branded products. So in my previous tutorial video, I created a website all around ladies' boots. And we had different categories for each brand of boots. So we had like an UGG boot and a Fly London boot categories, and then we dropped them in like that. So you're going to have a think about the sort of products you're going to be downloading. I've done another affiliate site where I imported tools, power tools, that sort of thing. So we had a drills category and a saws category and that sort of thing. So just have a think before you do this about the sort of products that you're going to be getting from Amazon. Because then what we can do is we can search for very specific products on Amazon, and then we can drop them into the relevant category. So to start with, I'm going to look for beer shirts and drop them in there. And then next, I'm going to look for beer t-shirts and put them into that one. The beer t-shirts category. So I've got those set up, and you need to obviously add your categories in the same way. And then I'm going to go to Woozone and Insane Mode Import. And here is where we can import our products from Amazon. So if we scroll down, we've got this box here. This is what we're going to be using. So there's 4 ways you can do it. You can do a search where you can type in keywords and use the category filter and that sort of stuff to find your products. You can grab products. So you can literally just go over to a page on Amazon and copy and paste the URL into there, and it will grab all the products from there. If you've got a list of ASIN codes, which are the product numbers that Amazon uses, if you've got them in a spreadsheet or whatever, you can just drop them in here and it will import those products. And there's even a extension for Google Chrome, the browser. If you install that, you can do that here. Just click there on that Chrome web store. Then whenever you're looking at stuff on Amazon, you can very quickly, again, add it to your website. So it's kind of handy. Today, I'm just going to be using the search. It's kind of straightforward. So I'm just going to type in here, beer shirts, or beer shirt even. That might work better. You can then select a category if you want to, kind of narrows it down. So probably apparel. You can go even further, go men. Then I could go shirts. That's probably fine. Scroll down to this bottom box, which allows us to select the number of Amazon pages in terms of the search results pages. It's going to go through and grab the products, and it really depends on how many products you want. I think the first 5 is probably fine to start with. Let's click launch search, and it's going to go off to Amazon now, and it's going to find all of the beer shirt products within the men's shirts category, which I'm hoping there's a few. I don't know. It's going to take a few minutes. So here we go. We've got some products here. We click this button, we can take a look at them. Wow, these are some funky looking shirts. Are they relevant to beer? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let me give. I can close these tabs, by the way. Let's keep it tidy today. Let's give it a click, see what it looks like. Doesn't seem to have too much to do with beer. It's got motorbikes on it, that one, so maybe not that one. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, that one does have beer on it. And what does this one? It's a motorbike one again. I don't know, you could wear it whilst drinking beer, I suppose. But anyway, any products you don't want, you can just simply untick anyway. And you're going to, filter out. If you do import stuff that's not relevant, again, you can delete it later. It's fine. Not too much to worry about. Is that one? It's got pineapples on it. Strange. Let me just, we've got beer there. Let's have a look at that one. That's beer. That's fine. So yeah, anyway, I could go through these and obviously untick the ones that aren't relevant. That's kind of Guinness inspired, I think. So I'm going to kind of leave it for now. I don't want to bore you by going through all these products and deciding which ones are beer suitable and which ones aren't. I'll go for that. So let's scroll down. So we've got some options here. It's using Amazon Remote Images, which is good, which means the images are going to remain on Amazon and your site's just going to load them up dynamically. This is good because it means you're not going to be using up all your hosting space with images, and it means that the images are always going to be up to date. You're going to want all of the images probably, but if you don't, you can adjust it. I'm going to put the number of variations up to all. It does slow down the import, but if you're promoting products that are clothing, for example, you're going to want all of the variations because each variation will be a size. So, you want to download all of the sizes for that particular product. Got a few other options here. You can spin on import, which basically means it's going to spin the text associated with the products to try and make it unique, although it could turn it into gibberish. So use that with caution. Ideally, if you've got the time, you're going to want to rewrite some of the descriptions for the products so that they are unique to your site, but obviously that's up to you. You want to import the attributes. That's going to bring in some information about color and all that sort of stuff. Very useful. Then here we have our category settings. So as I said a few moments ago when we were talking about categories, you can use the category from Amazon or you can use your own. So I'm going to use my own and I'm going to select beer shirts. And then we can either do it now or we can do an asynchronous products import, which means it's going to try and do it in the background. You can test out this, see which one works best for you, but generally the do it now works better. So let's go for that and click import products. So this is going to take a few moments. Okay, that's all finished. So we should have 37 products now on our website. So we can go and take a look. If we go into products over here and click products, here we are. There's one of them there. I can click view and take a look at it. It doesn't look very beer related, but hey ho, we'll kind of go with it. So there it is. We've got the sizes, we've got the color options. There's only one blue. And we can add to cart, put in the description and the reviews and all of the attributes. It's looking okay. Well, it's not looking that great because we haven't done any of the layout or anything like that. It looks a bit of a mess, to be fair. But hey, at least the data's there and the images are there and all that's good stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to import the t-shirts, and let's do that. So back into Woozone and Insane Mode Import. I'm going to type in beer. I'm just going to type in beer, and then I'm going to try and narrow it down via the categories. Then tops and t-shirts. T-shirts. I'm going to go for 5 pages again. Let's do the search. I'm getting a few error messages here saying I'm requesting stuff too quickly. Don't worry too much about that. As long as you're getting products come through, you should be fine. So we got some products. We've got 40 found. Let's go and have a look. So are these beer related? Let's have a look. It has the word beer on it. We'll let that one go. What's this one? The beer prayer. Yeah, these are all fine. So again, you'd go through and just check that everything's relevant and whatnot. But they all look okay for now. Let's go down. I'm going to put the number of variations up again. Import attributes. Select the category beer t-shirts. Do it now. Let's go. There we go. It's all done. So again, we can just close that. Go back to products. And here we go. So now it's time to get the theme and get the website kind of looking like a real affiliate website. So the theme we're going to be using today is Storefront. It's a free theme. I'm going to just go into this tab, Google Storefront theme, get it over at woocommerce.com/storefront. I'm going to click Get Storefront. You're going to need a WordPress.com account to check out, even though it is free. I've already got an account, so I'm just going to sign in. And click Purchase. There we go, that's all done. And I'm going to click download. And then save. That's downloaded to my computer. Now this one we don't actually have to extract or anything, we can just upload it as it is. So let's go back to the website and I'm going to go to Appearance and Themes. And then Add New. Then I'm going to click Upload Theme. And choose one. I'm going to find that Storefront file that I've just downloaded. There it is. Click Install Now. Then I'm going to click Activate. So we've got this box pop up now and it's going to help us get things going. So let's click Let's Go. Leave that ticked to create a homepage using Storefront's homepage template. We're now in the customizer where we can play around and change things and make it our own. So you can have a tour if you like. You just click Let's Go and it will take you through all the different options. That might be helpful. Or you can just follow me. So let's do that now. Oh, let me just skip all these things. Okay. So we can see a preview of what our site looks like now. There's some of our products. There's some of the products on. So it's kind of coming together already. There's our categories. But of course we can change this layout as we like. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a logo. And we do that within site identity, and then we can upload one. Now I haven't actually got one yet for this website, so I need to go and find one. And to do that, I'm going to go and find a template, and then I'm going to customize it. Of course, you can create one from scratch, or you can just leave it as text, as it already is. But I love using Graphic River because over there you find loads of templates for logos, and you can just very quickly change them using Photoshop or Fireworks or whatever graphics package you like. So let's do that now. So here we are. I'm over at Graphic River. I'll put a link up on the screen now. You can find Graphic River. It's an affiliate link. Thank you very much if you use it. It's the same marketplace kind of community thing as Code Canyon. So if you're already signed up for that, then you'll be fine for Graphic River. Found this logo here. Looks all right. I'm going to change that to say beer shirts, and off we go. So I'm going to buy that now. There we go. That's all done. I can then download the file. Just like that. We get the zip file. And I'm just going to extract it. Obviously, if you've already got a logo, you can skip all this stuff. Be sure to check out the description, by the way, below the video for timings and things if you need to jump ahead. So these are Adobe Illustrator files by the look of it. Should be able to open that up. I've got Adobe Illustrator. If you haven't, I think you'll be able to find a free tool that you can also use to manipulate these files. Just need a font. It's going to download that for me. I highly recommend, by the way, the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription if you're going to be, you know, editing stuff and doing graphics. It's you know, a small monthly fee and you get access to everything. Let's see if we can get these fonts. There we go. So now I can. I don't know if it found the font. I'm not too bothered about the font. So I'm going to change that to shirt. Add a little tagline. Maybe we don't need the exclamation mark. There we go. Then I should just be able to save this for. I should do a save as. Change it to beer shirts. Okay. If I go up here again, I should be able to save for the web. Just like that. And then click save in the right folder. There we go. So now we have a logo. It might be a little bit big. I think it was like 800 pixels wide, which is probably a little bit too big. So I'm just going to resize it and trim it up and all that sort of stuff. So I won't bore you with that process. I'll do a quick edit. Okay, so I've resized it and done all that sort of stuff. I use Fireworks to that because I know how to use Fireworks. But you know, hopefully you'll have a graphics package that you can use. If not, you have to, you know, either go over to Fiverr or somewhere like that and get someone to do you a nice logo. The size I've gone for is 250 wide by 81 high, which I think is going to be about right. But let's see. So let's go back to the website. Close that tab. We're still in here in the customize section. So I'm going to select my logo on the computer. Like that. Oh, look, it's actually saying the suggested image size is 470 by 110. So there you go. But we'll see what this looks like at 250 by 81. It wants to see if we can crop it. I don't want to crop anything. I'm just going to drag that like that. There's our logo. Here we got our website title and the tagline. I'm going to change the tagline. The best beer shirts online. If I can type, we'll be all right. Here you can add a site icon, which is used when people like add favorites, that sort of thing. But I'm going to leave that for now. So let's click Save and Publish. I'm just going to close this for a second and just take a look at what the site is like. I'm going to go back to Visit Site. And here is our website. So here's our categories. We can add some images to them if we like, which I'll do very shortly. If we click through, we can take a look at some of the products. There we go. Then if we click on a product, let's just see how the checkout and everything is working. So it's got the price. It says it's available in the UK. Now, if you had your affiliate stuff set up for each of the different Amazon sites, so you went and signed up at Amazon.com and Amazon.de and all those, and entered your affiliate tracking IDs, then you get more options on here. You can turn this box off actually within the Woozone settings if you like, which is probably useful if you're just promoting one country like I am. I'll do that in a second. I'll show you how to do that. But anyway, we can select a size and a color. Then I can add that to my cart. And if I view the cart, there it is. And then if I go to the checkout, all being well, I'll be redirected off to Amazon to make my purchase. So let's have a look. Ta-da! Then if someone was to make that purchase, I'd get my commission. That's all working well. That's great. So let's go back to the site. So what we need to do now basically is just get everything tidied up, get it looking a lot better, work on the homepage and set up the blog, because the blog is going to be very important for your website in terms of content, because you need to add some good content. And I'll bang on about this, and you'll see if you look on my channel at other videos, if you want your Amazon affiliate website to be a success, you're going to need to create some content and add it to your blog, that sort of stuff. So we'll make sure the blog's up and running, and I'll add a bit of content just so I can show you how that all works. But we're making good progress. The site's really coming together now, and we should be all done fairly soon. So just quickly wanted to show you how to remove that box with the flags. This is going to be useful if you're just promoting stuff from one Amazon site like I am. So I'm just promoting amazon.co.uk products. If you've got more than one site's products, so you've imported from amazon.com or amazon.de and amazon.co.uk, then you're going to want to keep it. But yeah, as I just mentioned, I'm going to show you how to turn it off. I've had to record this at the very end because I forgot to do it, but hey, let's just crowbar it in right now. So if you go into Woozone and then go to Amazon config, and then if you go to plugin setup, and then if you scroll down, keep going, somewhere towards the bottom. It's here. The activate product availability by country box. I'm going to turn that to 0 to no even. And then if I click save settings, should be fine. Then if I go and take a look at a product, it should have gone. So let's take a look. Let's have a look at this one, the braces. There we go. It's gone. So let's go back to where we were, and we're going to be setting up the homepage now, I think. So let's sort out this homepage and get it looking a little bit nicer. I think the layout and everything is fine. What I want to do is add another category here, just so that it evens out. So we've got 3 categories showing. I'm going to add a nice kind of parallax effect at the top using an image and some text. Using a plugin, we're going to do that. And yeah, after we've done that, I think it'll look a lot better and start looking like a real site. The other thing I've noticed is that these product image sizes are all different. Well, they're not all different, but that one is different, so it kind of stands out. So we'll adjust those two so that we can get them looking good. So you see here as well, they're not all the same size. It looks a bit weird, so we'll do that as well. So the home page. Let's start at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a plugin that will allow us to have a kind of parallax effect. Parallax is when you've got an image and you've got some text over the top of it. I will just say that there is a pack of plugins available from Woocommerce.com for the Storefront theme, but I think they're like $69 or something. Let me just find it here. Yeah, this thing. $69, that's quite a lot of money. So I'm going to try and jazz up the site without these. But, you know, you might want to consider getting these as well. If you do, they're over at woocommerce.com. So let's install the plugin. The plugin we're going to be using is called Parralax Scroll, I think. Let me just have a look. Yep, I've already installed it before. That's why it's coming up. So I'm just going to type that into the search box. It's this first one that comes up. I'm going to click Install Now. That's done, then click Activate. There we go, and it's added a new option over here called Parralax Scroll. So if we go in and click Add New, I'm going to call it Homepage. Now you're going to need a nice image for this. I've just put one together in Fireworks, which is the graphics package that I like to use. Let me show you what it is. I've got it just here. Here it is. So I just created that. I basically went to Amazon, or actually went to the beer shirt site, got some of the images, removed the white background and dropped them on, added a shadow and put it on top of a kind of natural looking sort of background. That's it. I'm not going to go through how I did that in this video because it's not going to be relevant if you're not running Fireworks or anything like that, but hopefully you better put something together. If not, just a photo will do fine. You can grab a photo from over at PhotoJune if you don't have one to hand. PhotoJune, I'll put a link up for that. They've got loads of stock photos over there for little money, only a few dollars each, and you might want to use one of them. So let's add that top banner, and to do that I'm going to set it as a featured image. So I'm just going to click over there, set featured image, click upload files, find the image, there it is, and set as featured image like that. Now here we can add some text, so something like the best beer shirts online, maybe an exclamation mark. I'm going to set it as a heading 1. I'm going to center it. I'm going to make it white, which means you can't see it on here, but it will show up better on top of this image. Makes editing it fun. Still there, yep. The next line I'm going to put is hand-picked from Amazon. Again, I'm going to center that and maybe make it a heading 3, make it white. There we go. So here we can set some other options. I'm going to set the height to around 400. The image is 500, so I want it slightly less so that we get the parallax effect working nicely. Next is parallax image size. It says set 0 to auto set, so let's try that. I want it in the center. This is for the header. I'm not sure I'm going to use the header. I might just remove the header, but we'll have a look in a second. And you can do a full width, but this doesn't always work with some themes. We'll tick it, see what happens. And the other options I'm going to leave for now. So let's click publish. Right, so to add this parallax image, if we click on Parralax Scroll over here, there's a shortcode, and we're just going to copy and paste this little bit of code. Copy. I'm going to go back to the home page, I'm going to click edit this section. I'm going to do an enter there, and I'm going to do a paste. I'm going to click update. I'm going to edit this text in a second. But for now, let's have a look at what this looks like. Ooh, there we go. That's not looking too bad. It hasn't gone full width, but that's fine. So I think what I want to do is I want to hide this bit which says homepage. That's no good. I want to move this down maybe one line so that it's more in the middle. Yeah, hide this welcome, hide this. Obviously, people that visit the site won't see this edit this section button. That's only for us when we're logged in. So let's do that now. I'm going to go back into the dashboard. Back into Parralax Scroll. And click edit. So to hide the header, we need to add a bit of style in here. And what we need to type in is display none and then a semicolon. Again, you'll find all these bits of code over at wpeagle.com or in the description of this video. Let's click update, see what that's done. Okay, let's add a space to this, which is really difficult to edit when it's white. Let's put it black for a second. Like that. I'm just going to add an enter like that. And set it back to white. And update. So let's have a look at the site now. That's not too bad. I'm wondering if I maybe just reduce the height slightly. That might look better too. Let's go back. So maybe set this to like 350. Click update. There we go. I think that's looking better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide this welcome. Now, I don't think there's an option to do that within the theme, so I'm just going to use some custom CSS. Again, just find the code on wpeagle.com. Don't worry about what I'm doing now. I'm just using the inspector tool to find the bit of code that I need, but all you're going to need to do is copy and paste. So it's this thing here. I'm going to do a display none. There we go. It's gone. Slightly overlapping the edit this section button, but that doesn't matter. As I say, people that visit the site that aren't logged in as admins won't see that anyway. So I'm just going to copy this bit of code, and then I'm going to go to customize. So all you need to do is say go over to wpeagle.com, find the blog post relating to this video. There'll be a direct link to it in the description on YouTube, and find this bit of code. It will look like this. And just copy and paste it from WPEagle into your additional CSS box, which you can find within Customize, as you can see. Let's click Save and Publish. It's gone. It's looking good. So let's just change this little bit of text. So to do that, we need to go back and edit the home page. Add a little bit more space, I think, like that. And I'm just going to add some text. I'm just going to try and include a few keywords around some of the products. So we find all the best beer-related shirts, t-shirts, socks, belts, and much, much more for your enjoyment. All the products are available to buy easily and securely. Ooh, I can't spell. Hang on. Where are we at? On Amazon. No, an exclamation mark. Let's delete that. And I might want to center that, although it might already be centered, I'm not sure. And then of course we could bold it if we need to. By the way, if you need to learn more about WordPress, if you're very new to WordPress and you're not sure how to edit pages and posts, do check out the other videos on my channel. You'll find videos on all those sort of things, and all the basics of WordPress and that sort of thing. Let's click update. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Now I think there's a little bit too much space. I don't know if there is a space there between this text and the shop by category. Let me just see if there is. Yeah, let's take out that line. Well, if you switch to the text editor, you can really see what's going on. And it all looks fine. So there was a space there. I've just, or a return, I should say, line break. Just remove that. I think that's fine. Again, with some custom CSS, I could probably adjust that spacing. Yeah, because there's a margin there. I think that looks better. So again, I'm just going to copy and paste this. You'll find the code over at wpeagle.com. Just copy it and paste it. So I've copied that to my clipboard. I'm going to go to Customize, and then into Additional CSS, and just paste it in. That should get that spacing looking a little better. There we go. So that's looking good. If I want to see what the site looks like without being logged in, I can always just open up an incognito window or something like that and paste the site in. There we go. We can get rid of obviously that edit section button. We can see what it looks like. So the next job is to sort out these categories. I want to add an image to the categories, and I'm going to add a third category there so that it's got 3 categories and it'll look a lot better. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to import some more products. I'm thinking I'm going to go for kind of other beer related stuff in terms of clothing, so socks and whatnot. So I'm going to do a quick edit now, because I'm going to go off and import some more products, and obviously we've already been through that in this video, so you don't need to watch me do that. I'm going to go and import a few more products into a new category, then I'll be right back to add an image to the categories and get these looking better. So let's do an edit. Okay, so I've added some more products. I've added a category. Here it is. Other beer related stuff. I'm afraid I couldn't think of a better name. That'll do. And in here we've got some, well, random things really. Got some socks. They're not all relevant actually. I need to go through and tidy it up, but it'll do for this example. So we've got some beer braces. Some are drink related, I must say. Vodka on that one. Yeah, beer socks. Anyway, you get the idea. So we've now got the 3 categories. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some images to each of these categories, because this looks a bit rubbish. So I've put together a few images, again using fireworks. You could just use photos. You could use a picture of one of your products, or if you're feeling a little bit graphic designery, you could put together something like I have. So I've got this one here for the shirts. Look, again, I've just cut out the shirts and put them on top of a background. Here's the t-shirts one. Pretty straightforward. And then here's the more beer stuff one. Perfect. I don't think I've actually imported that product. I probably should. The Duff lounge wear pants, whatever they are. I'll do that in a sec. So to set a category image, we're going to go back into the dashboard. And then into products and categories. Then we're going to click edit. This one is beer shirts. Down here you've got this thumbnail setting. You can click upload, add image. I'm going to upload it from my computer. So this is the shirts one. There we go. Now the image size is, I've gone for 500 by 500. I think that should work well. Let's click update. There we go. Back to product categories. Let's do t-shirts. Upload. Then upload files. Select the t-shirts image. There we go. And then update. And then finally we've got the other beer stuff category, which is here. upload. There it is. And use that image and click update. Let's go back and have a look at the home page. Hey, that's looking better. So it's looking quite nice, and then we can click through. So everything is coming together quite nicely now. What I'm going to do is I need to sort out this image size issue that we've got. And if you've watched any of my previous tutorials, you'll know this is a common problem with Woozone. That it brings in images from Amazon, and if they're not quite big enough, you get this problem here where it's not all sitting nice in line. These look okay because they are the right size, but we'll see it's more obvious when you look at categories. So that one's taller than that one. So I'll show you how to adjust it right now. We're going to go into the dashboard. We're going to go to WooCommerce and settings. Now I've done a bit of research into this, and in this market, in particular t-shirts and that, it seems that the kind of smallest image that we get is around 230 wide. So as long as we make all of the other images that size, it should be fine. So I'm going to just go here. Sorry, I've gone a bit quick. Let's go back. So yeah, I've gone into WooCommerce and settings. You'll also notice that I don't do many edits on my videos. I like to keep in everything so you can see exactly my process. And sorry, I'm rushing ahead. But anyway, WooCommerce and settings, and then we're going to go into products, and then display. And then scroll down, and here we've got our image size. And the one we want to adjust is this catalog image one. So I'm going to put it down to 230 and 230. I'll leave all the other settings as they are. I'm going to click Save Changes. Now, if we go take a look at the site, let's go back. It has made these slightly smaller. I'm not worried about that. But it's made all these look a lot tidier. So yeah, let's go back into the category. You see they're all the same height now. So pretty much all good. I mean, this button is not sitting in a nice line, and that's because of the length of the titles. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm pretty happy with the site as it is. So what we need to do now, there's a few final things just to get the site nicely finished off. We can add some things to a footer. We can adjust this menu so that it makes more sense, and we can add some things to the sidebar, which is this bit here. And then we'll add a blog post, and then I think I'll call it a day. Now, be sure to obviously check out my channel, because I will be creating more videos around this website and how to do other things going forward. And as questions come into me, I'll be creating videos. But I want to try and keep this video as short as possible, and that's quite hard. So let's crack on. So first thing, let's do this menu. So to set a menu, we can just go up to beer shirts here, or the site name, and then go to menus. And you'll also find it in appearance and menus. You see that? So I'm going to create a new menu. I'm going to call it main menu. It's a good name for a main menu. Okay. I'm going to set it as the primary menu and the handheld menu. And then we can start adding some things to it. So I think the home page is a good thing to add. So to add a home page on this site, it's called Welcome. I'm just going to click the Welcome page over there and click Add to Menu. And I'm just going to rename it by clicking on the little arrow and changing that to Home. And then I'm going to add the categories. So to do that, you see there isn't any shop categories down here. There's just this categories, which is for the blog. So if we go to screen options up here, and then tick product categories. We can see that we've now got product categories down here. And there's my free categories. I'm going to add all of those. Now this menu is really easy to use. It's drag and drop, so we can just, you know, put them in the order we like. And if you want to have categories below main categories, so say for example I could have a category maybe men's if I was doing clothing, and then under that I might have my shirts and my t-shirts. To do that, you just drag them slightly to the right. So let me just leave that as it is, and I'll show you what that looks like on the front. So you can see you've got that drop down effect going on there, so that might be useful obviously depending on your categories. I'm not going to be using that, so let me go back into the menus and put that back as it was there. Click Save Menu. Then if we take a look, there we go. So that looks good, and obviously we'd add other pages and categories as we create them. Now there are a few other pages that I'd recommend that you do create, and they're quite useful. Let me just show you my other affiliate site, Amazon affiliate site, or one of my other affiliate sites. So I think it's quite good to have an About Us, privacy policy, and an FAQ, sort of things that make your website look like it's a real site, as it were, which of course it is a real site, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think it's essential to have those pages, so I'm going to create them. And it's also good to have a little statement at the bottom of your page saying that you're an Amazon affiliate. I'll show you another example of a site that I created, which has also got similar pages, zombiemerc.com. The reason I'm firing up this site is because I'm probably just going to copy and paste the pages because it's easier. And this one's got a terms and conditions, which is quite nice. And yeah, so let's add a terms and conditions and a privacy policy and an About Us. So to do that, I'm going to go to New Page. Okay, and then About Us. And then in here you'd add some blurb. You know, we find all the best beer related things on Amazon just for you. Don't know what I put on my other ones. Let me have a look. Is there anything more? To give you a few ideas. Not a lot. That statement looks quite good. I'll use that. And then I'm going to publish. Then next I'm going to add a privacy policy, privacy, I don't know. Again, have I got one on this one, or was it the other one? I just want to copy and paste it. If you need a privacy policy, how do you say? I guess it tomato, doesn't matter. If you just do a Google search for generic privacy policy, and you'll be able to find something you can copy and paste. So on this one, that'll be what I've done. Here we go, that's perfect. I'm going to take that. These are all good things because, especially when it comes to SEO, Google's going to come in and take a look at your site, and it's looking for things like privacy policy, terms and conditions, that sort of stuff, just to, you know, find out if you are a legit site. So that's the privacy policy. Let's do one more. Let's do the terms and conditions, which I think this site had, yeah. Again, if you do a Google search, you'll be able to find like generic terms and conditions, which this one hasn't got. Never mind. I think you get the idea. So those pages are created. We can now add them to our menu. I think I'm going to try that secondary menu location, see what happens with that. So let's go to Appearance and Menus. I'm going to create a new menu. Let's call it Second Menu. I'm going to add this About Us, privacy policy, terms and conditions. Save the menu. Oh, and then I'm going to tick a secondary menu down here. I'll click Save Menu again. Let's take a look at the site. So that's added those there, which is fine. Looks good. Okay, so let's add a few bits to the footer down here. To do that, we go into again on our site name and go to widgets. Now, widget is basically an element of the site that you can drag and drop and place it into certain areas, and the areas depend on the theme. And with Storefront, we've got our sidebar. There's one below the header, which might be useful depending on what you're doing. And then there are 4 in the footer, and they're the ones that I'm going to be looking at right now. We'll come back and take a look at the sidebar in a few moments. So the first one I'm going to do is a text one. And I'm just going to put about us, and then I'm going to put a little bit of content, probably the same as my zombie one. I'm just going to copy that. Change that to beer related, and then done. Before I add any more, let me just take you back to the site so you can see what that looks like. There you go. And as I add more, it's going to kind of drop into columns. You can add as many as you like, really. You can add as many as you like to each widget area and to each footer. Hope that makes sense. It will do in a second. So the next one, what we could do is we could have recent posts. I'll set that to 2 and click save. So that's going to be our latest blog posts. The next one, I actually want to add a menu. I'll add the menu that we just added to the top. So I'm going to drag the custom menu widget. You see I was just dragging them over there. Again, you can kind of rearrange widgets as you like. I'm dragging and dropping. I'm going to call this more information. Select the second menu, click save. And then for the final one, we could add some of these Woocommerce widgets, maybe like this top rated products, and we'll show free and click save. So let's see what that looks like. Let's go back to the site. Scroll down. And here is our footer. That's probably a bit too many. Probably want to put that down to 1 unless you're making these bigger. We've only got 1 blog post, and that's. So I'm just going to adjust that to be 1. So let's go back into widgets. Column 4. I'm just going to change that to 1. And then have a look. There we go, that's fine. So let's go and have a look at one of the categories. I want to just check out the sidebar. Got this sidebar here. So in here we can have whatever you want. Again, it's just choosing widgets. So let's go back into widgets. So at the top we've got the search. I'm going to put a title on that. This one, latest from the blog. Put that to 2. I want the archives. Could have recent comments. Again, I'm just going to put that to 2. This is our blog categories. I'm going to remove that one. I might add the shop categories. Which is useful especially if you've got a lot of categories. Obviously on this site I haven't got a huge amount, but let's change it to product categories. Like that. Let's go and take a look at what's happened. So there we've got final product, latest from the blog, recent comments, and oh, that's the wrong widget. Silly me, I should have added the WooCommerce categories one. Let's remove that. There we go, WooCommerce product categories, that's what we need. Let's call it product categories, that's fine. Click save. There we go. If you wanted, you could add images, you could add text, you could add whatever you like. So it's really up to you. A couple other pages then, just to finish off. We need to look at the blog. So I believe that the theme created the blog page. If we go into pages and go all pages. There we go, blog. Let's have a look. So you've got this first blog post called Hello World. We don't need that. Let's just go onto it, click Edit Post. And move that to the trash. Now I can't stress enough that content is going to be one of the most important things when it comes to getting your site found and getting traffic and stuff like that. You create good content. I'm talking about, you know, reviews, lists of products, you know, our favorite beard t-shirts for going on holiday with, that sort of thing. So reviews, lists, anything that's useful, tutorials, they work really well as well. Anything you can add that's around your product, that obviously within the content you can link through to the products on your site. But generally you'll find that people will come to your site looking for information, and then, you know, products come off the back of that. So the blog's going to be really important. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the blog to the menu. So let's go to Appearance and Menus again and select the main menu. And there it is. I'm just going to tick the blog, add it there. Looks like that. Let me just show you how to add a post. I'm going to go to New Post. Now the blog has categories very similar to products, so you might want to create some create some categories, maybe something like news or whatever sort of stuff, maybe tutorials, reviews, whatever. We could add another one, say reviews. Again, these can all be managed over here under the post section if you want. So let's add that. And yeah, then you need to review something. So I need to make something up. A good way to actually find reviews is to head over to YouTube and like find a video about one of your products, watch the video, and then create a piece of content about it. So, oh look, this one looks good. How to play beer pong, perfect. So I'm just going to copy that link for YouTube. I'm going to create a post called How to Play Beer Pong. You then need to add some words, so you know, beer pong is really great fun. Here's how to play. Then I can just paste that YouTube link in, and it drops the video straight in for us. Now we need an image for the blog post. Add some tags: beer, pong, games, whatever you like. Tags are useful again for SEO and in terms of related posts and stuff on your WordPress site. It's handy if you do add them. So this is not a review. Let's add another category called tutorials. I'm going to untick reviews. So yeah, we need an image. So again, I'm going to head over to Google, not Gmail. Hang on. Over to Google. I'm going to do a search for beer pong. I'm going to go for images. And here's a little trick, because you want to be careful when you're getting images off Google that they're not copyright, because you can get into trouble for that. So if you go into tools when you search for images and go to usage rights, you can go for labeled for reuse, then you should be fine. So any of these I think will be good. Oh, I quite like that one. Oh, that one's good as well. I'm going to go for that one. I'm going to view image and save the image. Go into the right folder. Let's call it beer pong. Okay. Back to the post. Go to set featured image. Upload it from my computer. And click set featured image. You would of course probably write a few more words. One line is not really enough in terms of a piece of content. But yeah, use things like YouTube and Google and find maybe other people's reviews or tutorials and then use them in your own posts, you know, write other stuff around them. Maybe on this post I could add a few different videos and also watch the videos and then write some words about what's going on in the videos and you know, create a nice piece of content. Let's click publish. So now if we view the post, there's our featured image, there's the video, which should play. There we go. If we go to the main blog page, there's the post on the blog page, which is good, and it's also coming up under latest post down there. So the site is kind of nearly done, really. I think I'm just going to finish by adding a contact us page, which again will make it, you know, like a more legitimate sort of site and allow people to get in touch with you, which will be handy. So I'm going to go to new and page, call it contact us, and put some words. If you'd like to get in touch, please use the form below. Click publish. I'm going to go to appearance and menus, and I'm going to add it to my main menu. Could of course add it to the top menu, it's up to you. Click save menu. Let's go back. There it is. But of course we haven't got a form, so let's add a form. To do that I'm going to install a free plugin. So let's go to plugins and add new. The plugin we're going to be using is called Contact Form 7, so I'm just going to type that into the box up here. Going to click install now. Then activate. Okay, so that's added a new section down here called contact. So we're going there, you'll find contact forms, and it's created this one by default, which is generally fine. Let's go and take a look. I'm going to click edit. So it's asking for name, email, subject and message, which is fine. If you want to add any other fields, you can use these buttons along here. If you want to learn more about Contact Form 7, be sure to check out the channel. You'll find some videos on it within there. But for now, this is fine. So we need this shortcode across the top. So I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard. I'm going to go back to the front of the site. I'm going to go to Contact Us. We come up here to edit page. Then I'm just going to paste that shortcode in like that. Then let's have a look. And there's our form. And by default, it's going to send it to the email address that you specified when you installed WordPress. So that should be fine. If you need to adjust any of those settings, just go back into the contact section in here. Go into the contact forms, edit this, and under mail, you can adjust everything in there in terms of who the emails go to. Let's have one final look. And there's our website, all done. Okay, so I think we're pretty much there. And I just want to quickly take you through a few of the other options within Storefront, which might be useful. So I'm just going to go to customize in terms of colors, stuff like that. So we've done the site identity, that was our logo. The header, we can add a header background image if you like. You can also adjust the color of the text, that sort of thing. So currently it's black and grey. You can adjust that if you like. You know, I might maybe change it to the orange if I wanted. So is there an orange color like that? That makes it more orange. It's entirely up to you. I'll put it back to black for now. But yeah, that can be adjusted. Footer, again, we can adjust the background color, that kind of thing. That might be nice as the orange. Let's have a look. Yee, blimey, that is quite orange. I think I actually want it to be the same orange as my logo, so I need the color code to do that. Let me just find out what that is. To do that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the logo, copy it, go to Fireworks, paste it, and use the dripper tool. like that. So there's the colour code. I can just copy that into my clipboard now and go back and paste it in. So the orange now matches. I'm going to change these colours to white. Like that, and then links, I think links white as well, that'll be fine. There we go. Here we can set a background if you want to set a background image or change the background colour. It's currently white, obviously, but you can adjust that. Here you can adjust your text colours. I think I'm going to make the links the orange colour. Though we haven't got any links, so I can't see that change. That's fine. Here you can adjust buttons, colours, that sort of thing. So we might have a button on here. Yeah. These buttons, you know, maybe make it orange. Like that. I'm going to make the text colour white. There we go, looking good. Here we can adjust the layout. So these are, oh, I missed layout. So you can put the sidebar, whichever side you like. Currently it's over there, but if you like, you can have it over on the left. Like that. Entirely up to you. Here we got menus, which is basically the same as where we went a few moments ago, where we went to appearance menus. You can also do it within here. You can see there's this stuff, but you can kind of see it in real time moving here. It's kind of fun. And then widgets, again, that's similar to where we were before, but you can do it in here again, see it in real time moving around. Static front page, already set up. You're probably not going to need to adjust that. Additional CSS, we've already been in here. That's where we pasted those bits of code to make those adjustments. Finally, there is a more section. So let me just save and publish. If we go back to our storefront page, which is in the dashboard by clicking here, I just want to make you aware, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there is some extensions you can buy. There's also a whole load of other what are called child themes, which will kind of give you a look and feel that's maybe more suitable for whatever market you're in, and you can go down that route if you want to spend a bit more money. But obviously that's entirely up to you. So one final look. And here's our website, looking better with a bit of orange actually on the buttons, that sort of thing. I'm not sure about that footer, but hey, it's a bit orange. But I'm going to leave it like that for now. So, well done if you made it this far. Not many people do. Yeah, well done. I hope your website's all up and running, working well. I'd love to take a look at it. Please post a link to your sites in the comments below this video. But for now, I'm going to get off the computer and I'm going to go back and you're going to see my face for a minute. Well done! You made it to the end of the video. I hope you've been able to create yourself an Amazon affiliate website. I'd love to see it, as I've just said, so please do leave a link to your site in the comments below this video and I'll definitely go and check it out. Now be sure to check out my channel. I've got loads of videos all around promoting your Amazon affiliate website, adding extra things like Google Analytics, that sort of thing. So yeah, do check out the rest of my videos to kind of take your website to the next step, get it promoted, get some traffic, and hopefully start earning some money. Now, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you could subscribe and join the WP Eagle community. You can do that by clicking on the little eagle that's just appeared up there. And here is a video that's been specially selected, which I think you're going to enjoy. If you can take watching any more of my videos, you probably need to go for a lie down. Anyway, until next time, bye for now.